2, 1.
Good evening, gamers, and welcome to Life's a Game. We're here, we just talk about anything gaming related. It doesn't matter if it's the games, the technology that we play the games on, or other type of media that's relating to games. And we've been doing this now for a few weeks, and it's been very enjoyable engaging with people bringing different points of interests, what their gaming history is or what they're playing, and me be able to express my interest, and but also be curious of what other people are doing in the gaming community or the gaming space. Doesn't matter from a developer's point of view or just a consumer's point of view. It's been interesting. So the last few weeks we have covered stuff like movie adaptations, TV adaptations. We've talked about CES. We've talked about 2023, our hopes and dreams of 2024. And now this week, the news is starting to come out what's happening in the future of 2024. So it's going to focus more heavily on, stuff that's happening in 2024 game related. So I'm just actually going to put the chat up. Once again, this week, I didn't even put chat up again. I keep on forgetting about it. It's because when you open up the studio, I look at the schedule list, and I just don't think to pull up chat. But at the moment, there's no one here in chat. But why I'm actually speaking about studio, I'm using the Talk Studio from, I think, Streamlabs. It used to be called Melon, but last week, I think it was Sanchez that said he would like to see some game footage. So I actually went out and I actually bought the Rode Streamer X to capture some game footage, because there's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to this year that I thought, hey, why not actually capture it and put some shorts or a quick review of the games that I actually play. And the games I'm looking forward to playing are games like a Dragon, Final Fantasy, Rebirth, Rise of the Ronin, and Indiana Jones and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe it might interest you to just see what my takes or how I play games. And also, I actually bought these this is by Rode as well, a Wireless Pro. Yeah, so it's called Rode Wireless Pro wireless system. So when I'm playing games, I'm not attached to the microphone, because this is my PC setup. So when I'm playing games, I just want to relax, put my feet up, and just focus on the TV. So with these equipment, it lets me to do a 4K 30 capture, but a 4K 60 pass through, but also gives me the flexibility to move around, so I can be more animated when I'm expressing myself in this gaming stream, should I say. So chat's finally loaded up, and we have Ray3473. Hello, Hoults. Lurking and watching. Yeah, it's always great lurking. Always scares me that you're there lurking, but it's always great to say hi, Ray. Always good to see you. We have Simply Pawns. Hello, bro. Hope you're well. I am doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. I hope you actually got round to all watch the Xbox developer event 2024. I got some views on that, but I will look forward to seeing what you guys thought as well. We have Reva. Hey, yo. So, good evening, Reva. We have Miss Phoenix again. Hey, Hoults. And we have Sanchez. Hello, Hoults in chat. And Caseball. And, it's always a pleasure to say hi to Caseball as well. So I don't know if any of you have got streaming equipment. It'll be interesting to see how you've developed over the years. And because to me, I am new to the stream and stuff. I've bought the equipment before, but I'm actually new to it. And I still get nerves going live. But, if everyone says that they take, pride and passion in their hobbies of recording, it might give me a little confidence to put more videos out there. But anyway, yeah, let's just dive right in. Why we actually mentioned, Caseball just mentioned about the Xbox Developer Direct 2024. To me, I was really happy to see this Direct, because, at least it pads out what's happening in the year of 2024 for Xbox. And I'm in mixed views. I'm in mixed minds of this because I don't think it was a bad direct by any means, because there was a lot of things that I was like, oh, this is very interesting. But when it comes to a direct or a showcase, there was a little bit more that I actually wanted to see, apart from developers going, hello, welcome to our game. I'm so proud. And yeah, I know they can't give the ball away too much. But to me, I was like, come on, you should have just give us just a little bit more, and I would have been really happy with the event. So I don't know about you guys. Do you want to give a score? I mean, I'll definitely give it a 6, 7 in the idea of games. And the games that were announced really hyped me up. So let's just talk about Hellblade 2. I really loved the first one, and seeing this coming out this year and with a launch window made me go, yes, because now I can finally put it in my planner and actually sit back and really enjoy this game, because I really loved the first one. I really loved the direction of Setsuna and her mental health issues, that, you know, and how it reflects in the world, how she's troubled and how she interacts with people. And I thought that was a very interesting take when it was released years ago, because I've never really seen games with sort of that theme of mental health. And seeing a sequel that sort of expanded on this world, this troubles that she's sort of overcome, but she's got new troubles, seems interesting, especially chasing after these Vikings. I thought this is going to be very interesting. And when the developers were talking about bringing in loads of 3D audio and bringing in loads of music from the environment, sounds from the environment, or music from the fates and stuff like that, I thought this is going to be a very interesting game, because I love games that are very immersive with high fidelity, but I also love the audio behind it. So I don't know about you guys. Do any of you care about the audio in games? Phoenix said, Ray's lurking in the shadows. Yeah, that's it. No greater threat, especially when he had the drone a few weeks back. And let's just carry on. Let's because hi Roaster, nice dropping in, just popping in. Always good to see you. Case Bull said 6 dot 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 dot. Ooh, did you disagree with it? I think 6 is a great score, because I think 10 is like a really epic. Oh my god, that's amazing! I have to run out and do backflips. But I think 6 is very nice for what it is, because it was just the developers announcing games. There wasn't really like a lot of gameplay. There wasn't loads of things to address in the game. It was just developers take how they got very passionate about the things that they're developing. Stan says, would be good if we had HB2 date though. Didn't he say, wasn't Hellblade 2 the 21st of May? Or was that another game that I've seen? Rouse is going out. Yeah, I'll see when you actually jump in, Rouster, because you usually see it at the end, because I know you're actually driving. Ray saying drone went into outer space. Oh dear. Well, you're not getting that back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 21st of May. Did I see Hellblade? Because I'm sure I said I was going to pencil it in. Let me just quickly check to see. Yeah, May. I wrote down Hellblade 2 was the 21st of May, and it was very interesting, because I really want this game to succeed, because hearing the words very immersion, high fidelity, and very audio heavy with 3D environments really actually makes me want to play it really well, especially on the theme. I love Vikings. I can imagine where you're from being very beautiful in this timepiece, and seeing her go after these people who destroy their village but be troubled with visions. I think it's going to be a very interesting concept. And seeing it come to Game Pass, it is a win for me. And I hope this can get nominated for Game of the Year. I know it's a bit too early to talk about Game of the Year, but why not just say, hey, the ball's rolling. Another game that I actually see started off the direct was Avowed, Obsidian. That was very interesting. When I seen that, I was like, okay, another game where my input will have consequences. So the world looks beautiful. The switching between different fight styles on the whim seemed very interesting. So he was talking about like I can go into battle with double ones and be like a sort of a magic gunslinger, then quickly switch to sword and shield and sort of evolve my playstyle to kill enemies. What was interesting, and then seeing the world, only a snippets of it, it did seem interesting where some of the world was derelict, dead, wasteland barrens, and then you've seen some beautiful cities and, you know, bit of areas where you think, oh my god, that's very beautiful, the artistic style of this. So I'm very interested to see that game as well. Did anyone was anyone interested in seeing Hellblade? I know a lot of people are sort of, oh, I seen in chat. And it was horrible. I seen in chat and IGN that there was a lot of fanboyism in there. There was a lot of people going, "Oh my god, Xbox got no games, PlayStation's got no games." But to me, I thought to myself, Avowed and Hellblade, I'll give them a round of applause. I was like, this is what I actually want to see in the showcase. Go Xbox. So we actually have Rock in there. Hey, Rock. Yeah, I guess he's got his fluffy slippers kicking up late night. So that's why I give it a 6, because there was only snippets. Another game that was really interesting was the Square Enix, A Vision of Mana. I love that sort of like cute anime aesthetic. When he was showing the worlds and the animals, I thought, well, I can get behind this. I can see this as a very relaxing game with RPG elements, action RPG. I really love action RPGs. And when I seen it, I was like, oh, I can trust Square Enix. I've played Mana games before. And when I seen this, I was like, yes, this is a game that I'm also going to be interested in, exclusively on Xbox. And what I loved about that is I love listening to the music again. Every time I hear a tune, especially from Square Enix, you just got some great tunes. It doesn't matter from Final Fantasy, or it doesn't matter from Dragon Quest or Dragon Quest Heroes, um, Tales of Mana. It just makes me feel really great to relax in these games and listen to these like epic environments and stories. So I'm definitely down for seeing more of that, because I know people in chat are big RPGs, and there's no few people in there that really love Square Enix. So I hope you got really excited seeing that get teased. So people in chat is just saying hello to Rock. Now here's where my controversy comes down to. Now my controversy of this, actually I'll leave that to last. There was another game that I was really impressed, because I'm a big fan of like Age of Empires and Civilization, and I've seen the developer talk about Aura. I think I didn't butcher that name, and it was a RTS historical game from the makers of like Civilization 5. And this is a game that I always go to just to relax and sort of grind my nation to be the best and conquer everyone. And seeing a new game like this come out on Xbox makes me feel like, oof, I can really get behind that, because I love actually building these games and then conquering everyone. But what I loved about seeing this game and the developers mention about is that depending how you develop your nation, it affects the real world. So then you can see how the real world is actually done with nature, beauty. You use these raw materials, and then how the world sort of becomes, like, I wouldn't say more barren, but the resources become very scarce as your civilization sort of evolves. And I love the way that there's a crafting system. You don't really see that in these type of games like Civilization. So I loved seeing how these developers added a new twist to keep this game modern in the future. So if you're a big Civilization fan or Age of Empires and stuff like that, mention it in chat. Ray said, I can't wait to play them all. I think what this showcase actually done was give a little bit for everyone, wasn't it? There was an action RPG, there was RTS, there was an action platformer. People saying it looked fun. Yeah, it definitely was. Case Paul says, being honest, none of the games would be day and date purchases compared to a lot of other big games coming this. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it being overshadowed. But if you're definitely into the Xbox PC infrastructure, or you're especially a Game Pass subscriber, these are definitely going to be day one for a lot of people. And I can see Game Pass actually bigging all these games up. Now, here's my controversy. Here is my controversy with the last game that was covered, and it was Indiana Jones. When I seen this game, I was like, "Oh my god! Finally, some footage of Indiana Jones," and I thought it looked visually amazing. And I thought, who doesn't want to be Indiana Jones? Because he is the go-to guy. Before there was Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, and before there was Nathan Drake in Uncharted, there was Indiana Jones. And I was watching it, and then I thought, no, they've put it in first person. I would love them to change the idea to had third and first, because when I actually play these type of games, I love having them in third person so I can see my whole environment. I can push forward. I love it when I can sort of follow as close as I want to the character and then zoom out to have a better idea of puzzles or who's flanking me and stuff like that. And that is why I love Tomb Raider and Uncharted. And when I thought Indiana Jones was going to be that, and it was in first person, and I thought to myself, oh, why? Why did you do this? I don't know, people in chat, are you people, gamers, are you the type of people that like first person or third person? I would just like to change it on the fly. So when I seen this, I instantly went, oh, have I got the time and effort to play a game in first person? Because it really puts me off. I don't know if it's nausea or I just don't really agree, like seeing that viewpoint. And adding more to the controversy, I loved when the developer said, you can play it. We're not letting you just play as Indiana Jones. We want you to feel like Indiana Jones. And I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. And then the next sentence was, but there's a second character to play that is so deep rooted in the story of the Great Circle. And I was like, oh, I just want Indiana Jones. That's all I want. I want his charm, then his arrogance. I want his superior intelligence. Then I want a stupid dumb look. That's all I want. And you just put scene after scene after scene, tell it over a few hours, and that's all I want. When you bring other characters in, it just makes me forget about what game it is. The name of the title is Indiana Jones. I should play as Indiana Jones. I have no problem with secondary characters playing them if it's a DLC or it's an expansion. That's great. But at first, I thought to myself, I don't want secondary characters. It should just be Indiana Jones all the way. And I don't want half the game turned away with a secondary character. Now, I don't mind playing games with two characters if it's the same, like two characters or whatever, when it's the same story, but you've just changed your character to suit a reflection of you. Just I don't mind playing that. But I don't like when you've got a franchise with known characters and then you flip it on its head. So, for example, I love a lot of characters from Spider-Man, but the name of the game is Spider-Man. So when you change it to Mary J. Watson or you change it to another character, it really bores me because I'm like, I could play another game with these characters. I just want to be the main character. So I don't know if any of you in chat feels disconnected or how you thought about it, but me, I just went, tut. But I did like the whole idea with what I loved about Indiana Jones was how you can sort of mechanically, you can stealth your way past the enemies. You can pull out a revolver and go all in, or you can interact with the whip to do certain mechanics, so you can sort of ledge swing and you can do other stuff. And it looked impressive, and that is what I want. I don't want other characters. I don't want to see other people with the same revolver, the same whip, the same hat, the same that. I just want Indiana Jones. But I hope it really does. I hope it really does really successful, because I would love to see more Indiana Jones games going forward. Because I love seeing franchises like Uncharted and Tomb Raider, so why not see Indiana Jones 2 free? Especially in the timepiece. This game fitted in from, I think he said Raiders the Lost Ark to the Temple of Doom, if I can recall. So it's in between movie 1 and 2. So seeing a sort of younger India. And seeing this bit on Xbox, I thought, well, yeah, that's exclusive that I can get behind. But I definitely need to see more. Definitely need to see more game footage. Sanchez says the Square Enix games looked a little like Genshin. Maybe that's the aesthetic that they actually want, because look how popular Genshin is. So they just thought if I can capitalize on this, then it's a win for them. I just like the coziness of it, the aesthetic of it. It seems so relaxing. I just loved all the pastel colors and the way the animals and characters were designed. It's just a different take on how I play RPGs, because sometimes I play RPGs that are very visually look realistic, and sometimes I just want my RPGs to go back to a fantasy realm, like sort of like Final Fantasy 9, stuff like that. That type of take. Case Paul says, being honest, none of... Oh, I've read that one. I must have just scrolled up. Ray says, Beekeeper was awesome. My wife thinks Jason Statham is more handsome than me. Ah, that's a shame. That's it. Right? Game Pass, it's just so flexible, to play these games if you're really enjoying them. Case Balls, but Holt, exactly, cannot believe it's not third person. It's just a shame. I feel like they should... I don't like it when they actually said, you're going to play first person as Indiana Jones to feel like Indiana Jones, and then when you do epic scenes, they're going to zoom out the camera to make it look third person, and I'm like, that's half-arsed. Why would I want to see Indiana Jones climb a whip or a rope or something like that? Why don't you just have it always in that camera angle? I just think changing the action pieces to third person was absolutely stupid. I play both third and first person, and that is what I'm trying to say. Is I don't mind if it's in first person, but taking away the option to have it in third really ruins it for me. Really ruins it for me. I just feel like I am more happy with playing games in third person. I just said Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Mass Effect, Dragon Age Inquisition. I just love the idea where you can just do that. I just don't feel like I will be Indiana Jones in first person. I don't just like having the gun or the whip and just... Miss Phoenix said, yeah, I appreciate the surrounds more in third person. First person. See, what I like is I just like zooming the camera out. So if I'm stuck or I want to admire it, the scenery, I just zoom out and have a little look around. I just don't feel first person. I feel like the camera point of view is so closed in, of course, because you've only got a certain field of view, and I just feel like it just takes me a long time to go, okay, that's glittering over there, that's glittering over there, that's the puzzle solved. I just feel like having third person, just me looking at the character, makes it feel more game-like to me. So yeah, I totally agree with seeing what's in front of you. Miss Phoenix says, Rock, the last 3 games I've played, Avatar, Far Cry Primal, and Tiny Tina's Borderlands, have all been first person, and I loved it. I loved them. So do you prefer first person overall, or is that just because the last 3 games you played? I mean, tonight I'll be playing The Last of Us Part 2, and that's third person. I just like last Spider-Man, Final Fantasy. They're all in third person. That's what I like. Case Ball says, I'll be going some to be better than a lot of the Uncharted games. Machine games are it's just Wolfenstein with a hat. Do you know what? When you just said Wolfenstein isn't a hat, I was actually laughing to myself before, because when I found out it was the makers of Wolfenstein, I was like, The last time I actually played a Wolfenstein game was 10 years ago, which was The New Order. And it got me thinking, okay, what other games were from 10 years ago? And then I realized there's a lot of games that were out 10 years ago that now I've got the same style of play or the sequel now 10 years later. And I thought, oh, this is classic. But you are right. There's Nazis in Wolfenstein. So there's Nazis in Indiana Jones. Put a hat on it. There you go. Winning formula. Yeah. Ray said, I have been playing some top-down games too. Hey, speaking about top-down games, I've seen Sanchez mention in Cowboys chat before. He mentioned about Assassin's Creed Apocalypse, or it was also called Brotherhood of Venice last time I checked. And we mentioned in the last week that we've got people in chat who love tabletop games, card games, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So when you just mentioned tabletop, I just put it in my head that I had to made me remember to say, is any of you guys looking forward to tabletop games going forward this year? Because I know there's the Assassin's Creed I was mentioned, but there's also a Dead Cells tabletop game as well. So I thought to myself, I definitely have to get that in because I know chat do like these type of stuff. Sanchez says, first person is good if done properly, like having a higher field of view. I enjoy first person games. Also, they say I'm playing Primal tomorrow. Casey said, question to chat. What is the game you are most looking forward to in 2024? I'm going to answer that. My favorite one definitely is going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'll be interested to see what people's take is in chat. So Ray's actually, but Bjorn got me back into tabletop games. Yeah, he's the go-to guy I automatically think of because I've been on Rock Players before and I've spoken to Bjorn in the past, and he's always very, very enthusiastic on games to have tabletop or sort of tabletop in games. He loves all that realm of playing, should I say? So rolling a dice, card battles in a fantasy world. I thought that was very interesting. But I don't play these tabletop games. To me, I just can't see myself setting up a game. But I love people in chat when you mention it. And every time someone mentions it, they've got a story how they sat down with friends or family and they had the most epic time with these epic quests. And the source material was absolutely amazing. And it just makes me go, wow, why are I playing that? So I feel like you just need the best group of people to play these games. And I feel like I've got no one to actually sit down and enjoy these games unless I probably go to a workshop or an event in my city and actually look for it. But years ago, my city used to have all these places, but now it seems to close down. It seems to close down. And speaking of closing down, I actually seen some news about Game, which is the leading physical retail store in the high street, and they're stopping trading games next month. And I thought to myself, wow, this is the biggest huge business model that's been around in the 90s, and gamers have been trading in games for decades now. And now we're finally seeing the UK high street just saying, nope, we've had enough. Even though in my mind, I was like, you're making profit. You get a new release game. Someone trades it in, you're giving them barely any money for it, and then you're selling it back for close to full retail, maybe like $2, £2 off. You're making profit because it's not going back into the developer's pocket or stuff like that. So I was just very confused why these game stores are not now taking trading. And the only thing I can think of is that digital is going the way with a lot of gamers now, and physical is actually dying. I haven't bought a physical game since like the PlayStation 3 days, since the idea of copying data from a disc onto your hard drive just didn't make sense. When it was read off the disc, I understand that. But to me, I just go digital all the way. And I thought these stores were dead years ago. I thought physical wasn't very popular. But when I see in chat, a lot of people do like physical, and a lot of people trade in. So if you're a trader, drop in chat and let us know what you think about these high street stores closing down, can't trade in. And what's your viewpoint on Hellblade 2 going fully digital? Me, I'm definitely down for fully digital. Fully digital or subscription based. Rage went, 2K24. I love wrestling. I will not buy another wrestling game again. I was out of wrestling for well over a decade. It was one of my great pastimes, playing with friends with multi-taps and stuff like that. And I was just out of it. I really loved the attitude they had and stuff like that. And wrestling was part of my life. And it was only like 2 years ago I started speaking to the cowboy, and he was speaking about wrestling that I got in with a group of friends, and I played 23 and 24. And it was really amazing experience playing with friends, but the game is definitely broken. And having annual releases each year just makes me get fatigued faster, because I'm like, what have they done to deserve my money? They've just added a few more characters and that's it. I just don't think the game gets better mechanically wise. Case Balls has said the game he's looking for is Dragon Dogma 2, Outlaws, and Paper Mario. Isn't Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door remaster? If I can remember the top of my head. Star Wars Outlaws is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing if EA can do it right and expand the universe, because with Star Wars, it's very interesting. First, we had the Jedis and the Sith, and then the Mandalorians, and we're seeing like rogue troopers, and then we're seeing Cal, his point of view, and we're seeing how Jedi's, Force users can be in the world of the universe of Star Wars. But I love seeing how it's expanding to include, I don't know, trade smugglers, drug dealers, other avenues, bodyguards, other avenues of Star Wars. So I would love to see this Outlaw and how it adds. But the problem I've got with Outlaw is, please show me other parts of the universe. Stop showing me the same worlds that's being happening. Like, I don't want to see Tatooine. I've probably seen 50 years of Tatooine from the series to the movies and stuff like that. I feel like I just don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see sand maps, ice maps. Please show me something else. Evolve it a bit more, and I'll definitely be down. When I seen Dragon Dogma 2, I was like, yes, but I've never finished one. So I'll be very curious. I would have to do like a recap first of one, and then jump on two. Unless people in chat says, Hoults, play it, don't play it, skip it. You're definitely going to love two. But when you actually think of these games, Caseball, are you actually going to buy them physically or digitally? Do we actually have anyone that's a collector? I know it's totally different collecting games to actually buying them and trading them in. But to me, I've never been down for physical. I just see physical as digital. I see it. Put my tongue back in. I just see physical as clutter these days. I always have them big, huge stacks of cases, collecting dust because I don't pull the case. I don't pull up too much to clean around them and stuff like that, because they're just stacked there. And I'm just taking pride in it because I didn't know the future was going to be digital. Then now, when I actually see digital games, I just automatically jump on them. Because it just brings me more comfort playing digital games, because now I can just store it and don't worry about getting up and putting a disc in. But years ago, physical used to be amazing. I remember going to stores, midnight releases of games, standing in line, and just everyone was a community then, just standing in line, talking about the game for hours. I'm going to the latest Pro Evolution, FIFA, Call of Duty, and everyone was just laughing and joking. And they were all like, sometimes they were like limited box art and stuff like that. So we all got behind it. And I remember midnight releases just getting it and running home as fast as possible. But then the problem happened in the PlayStation 3 era. You put the disc in, it had to install, it took ages, and by the time I'd done that, I fell asleep. So when I woke up, I was never playing the game. So what was the point of midnight releases? So then I used to order from Amazon, and then Amazon used to take its time bringing the game to me day one, and all my friends used to be playing, so I used to be hurt by that. So then the idea was, well, if the content from the disc has to go on the hard drive, SSD, anyway, I might as well just download it digital, go asleep, 8 hours back then when the bandwidth was very low, wake up and there's the game. So I have no issue with these storefronts closing down, apart from the idea it's losing jobs, but I just feel like move on. Let the high street evolve and let gaming just be in its own little digital storefront. Ray says, I 100% in digital now because my wife said no more. So, Ray, if your missus didn't say no more, would you still collect them? I mean, the idea is, do you collect them? Do you like having them because you're a collector, or do you just like physical over more, over digital? I just never get it. When I can understand when people sitting there going, I like the touch of a book and the smell of a book, and you like flicking through the pages and stuff like that. It adds more personality to a book. But I couldn't sit there and say that I've sat there and stroked a case and went, "Oh my god, this plastic just feels amazing. I've got something physical in my hands. This is amazing." The only time I felt like that was back in the 90s when you used to buy games and you used to have inserts inside it and you used to have a guide. There was nothing better going to these stores in the 90s, say it was Tekken, and you opened the case and inside there was information about the characters and also the move set, just the basic moves. So you would study all that on the way home, and then when you actually got the game, you knew how to play the game because you read the book. And I was on main world stream yesterday. I was seeing him and his wife play Crash Bandicoot, and he asked a question like, "What was Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend? What was the name of the island? What was the name of the fruit?" And I knew it. He went, "Well, how do you know that?" I was like, "Well, I remember it being in the insert of Crash Bandicoot. I remember opening the insert of Mario and then find out what Yoshi's real name was." And I thought that added charm to it. But when they got rid of the inserts in physical cases, that's when I started losing interest in owning physical cases. And then the problem with me with physical cases, I used to always break the hinge. There was nothing worse when you broke the hinge off the freaking game, or you pushed the plastic case in too much and you broke the sealed lock. So I thought to myself, it's better if I just actually go digital. And that is why I admit that it's a pastime. I can understand people going, "Oh yeah, I still want my physical stores open. That's where I go." But it's like, come on, they're not very cost competitive. They don't do price comparisons. They give you crap rewards, and yeah, they give you crap trade value. So I'm like, bye. Case Ball said, "Buy all Capcom games. Absolutely love pretty much everything. Do apart from what's that? Exo Primal." Yeah, I heard that didn't actually go well. Outlaws will get free. Are you going to get a free when it actually becomes a free game, or do you mean free on subscription? I didn't actually think like that. The game is going to be like Division 2. I mean, the problem that I have with Division 2 and the problem that I have with Destiny and stuff like that is I love the game, jumping in the game first, and I love grinding it with my friends. I love playing the story, and then I grind. Then I grind too much, and then the season goes on too long, and then I play the next season, and it's all it is a different attribute to the weapon, and unless it's a DLC, I don't feel like I'm progressing in the story anymore. So then I realized I'm wasting a lot of time doing these grind mechanics without my friends. Oh yeah, so yeah, Ubi, yeah, free as well. Lucky, oh, get on you. Ooh, suit you, gamer. Ooh, suit you. Oh, well, there you go. You're getting it free. The idea of working on something epic as Star Wars must bring so much. Just to sit there and say, "That's me right there." Doesn't matter if it's in the credits or you can see your art referenced by people and say, "Yep, that was me on that stage." Or you put an Easter egg in, or you can tell something behind the scenes. So I'm like, "Case, well, tell me something personal about this getting." And you go, "Well, the funny thing about this scene is when it was developed, it was developers. We loved, and we put something secret in there." I love that behind the idea. And apart from that, I just play the game, but it's very interesting to see. But what else? What else did I actually mentioned? And I know I just mentioned about physical and uh, Xbox. I actually wrote something down. But speaking about free and Xbox, let's talk about Game Pass. How is everyone feeling about it? Because I actually read an article saying Game Pass has been great, but it's sort of analytics are saying that it's on a decline. And I'm like, okay, we're losing physical media because people are going digital. And I thought that was because the subscriptions are going too high. But now hearing Game Pass could be on a decline. Because like I said, I don't know if it's on the decline. I've not seen the numbers, but they said um, people are analysing it and it's going down. To me, I'm like, is everyone happy with that? Are you happy letting subscriptions die, or do you just prefer having your games owned digitally? And I read another article. It was someone from Square Enix and the makers of Baldur's Gate 3. And they're back in two having a talk about gamers should get used to not owning stuff in the future. And I know that really upsets a lot of gamers that you don't actually own, and you might not own anything in the future because of subscription basis or digital. And I'm fine with that as long as they keep the game price down. I have to have a digital price. If it keeps on going up and up and up and up and up and it's matching physical prices, then I think that's snidey. But if you can actually give me a subscription, it doesn't matter if it's EA Play Pro, Ubisoft Plus, Xbox Game Pass. I'm down with just paying the monthly subscription and having access to a library and then just letting it go, just like I do with TV shows and movies. I've not owned a physical movie in decades, since like what, 2010, a decade, should I say? So I'm literally happy. And then since Steam came out, what, 2003, I'm just happy to be in that mindset of digital. Oh, so yeah, Sanchez says all my PC games are digital. Yeah, I remember back in the late 90s, just running in the shop and actually having the CD-ROM case. Oh yeah, give me this PC. Oh, okay. And putting it into my CD-ROM drive, DVD drive. And I just thought, this is stupid. And when Steam came out, I remember being against it because I was a physical gamer back then. And when it came out, I just got so used to it. So when you get used to a thing, I just don't want to go back. And I feel that's the same with when cloud came out. When cloud subscriptions came out, I was like, why am I installing digital games when I can just, with a limited time, just play a game? And that's what I liked about it. And then when Ubisoft was tying their service into GFN and Stadia, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So seeing the subscription of a service from sort of renting a library with cloud was a winning formula for me. So we shall see where it goes in the future. But to me, I hope Game Pass doesn't lose numbers. I really want it to thrive, especially with the games that we just mentioned about Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2, Vision of Mana. I want them all to succeed. Sam says, I have my Game Pass subscription paid till May. Yeah, good deal. Well, I feel I like that. When some has Black Friday, Christmas deals, or something like that. Once it drops in price, or there's a way to sort of extend it, I feel like it's a good price. It definitely. I would have to do a year subscription, I couldn't pay monthly, and that's why it hurt me when Game Pass Family dropped. When he dropped the family experience, I was like, oh, I just wanted to pay a little bit more, have 5, 6 users, just like I've done with Stadia, and share my library with friends and family. I can't be having everyone have their own subscription. I think it's just getting too much. And by that way, I might as well just buy a digital game and share it for 2 people. Ray's just put, I like having choices for my PC, console, and cloud. Yeah, that's a good little answer. Case Ball said, tried a lot of the Game Pass games on GFN, more out of interest. To me, I've got a powerful PC, and when I actually the games came to GFN, I was like, oh yeah, I really want these games from Game Pass, and it took a while. So we're talking about Forza, Horizon, and Motorsport and stuff like that. And then when I actually played it, because they never had HDR installed, to me, I felt like it was washed out. And I thought to myself, how come I can play other cloud services with HDR games for up to 4K, and it looks absolutely gorgeous? Then I'm playing this game, and to me, having a lower resolution or not having high dynamic range on it, especially on the displays that I was playing, it just looked. And there was nothing wrong with the Game Pass cloud feature because it ran really great. I just felt aesthetically, fidelity wise, it just didn't do it for me like other subscriptions. So that's why I was like, okay, GFN, I can understand you've got the power to run game because you're at RTX 4080 on the Ultimate tier. But to me, I'm like, if I'm not getting the full fidelity, I might as well drop it down to priority or free. Caseball says, what's your TV? My TV is an LG G3. I've got an LG G3 and I've got a C3 77-inch. The G3's 55. And then I've got some lovely Samsung monitors that run these cloud applications natively. So the tellies run the cloud subscriptions natively. So when I load them up, I'm like, yeah, I can finally play a game. And then when I see it running native on the app, I'm impressed. And then when I see the saturation on the color, I'm like, that doesn't look as nice. And I know this because if I plug my PC via HDMI to my TV and I actually play the same game, so I'm talking about Forza Motorsport, the vividness, the illumination of high dynamic ranges, so that the illumination of the whites and the blacks makes everything seem, it pops more. And when everything pops more, I've got a great contrast of color. And so it just makes it look good. So for example, say I'm in a black car driving down a dark street at night. I just love seeing how I can distinguish between the darkness of the car to the night to how light's reflecting on the car and then going between each light. Then when I actually play on Game Pass Cloud, to me, when it's just all one color and you haven't got the range of like the metadata of the HDR, everything just looks just to me saturated. So that is why I feel like I actually want. So and it's even on PC, when I toggle between HDR off and on, I can definitely notice a difference. And I know it's just illuminance and vividness and stuff like that, but I feel like that is what I want in gaming. And I mentioned a few weeks ago, to me, it's got to be ray tracing HDR, then it's got to be textures, then it's got to be field of view. Because the more field of view I've got, the more immersive, the more textures I've got, the more realistic it looks. And the more technology behind it, the more, once again, immersive I feel. Then I'll worry about why I don't care about FPS and why I don't care about resolution anymore is because now you can have DLSS and FSR 3.0 to do all them sort of frame generations, and you can do stuff to enhance the experience by upscaling. Caseball says, I have an LG C3 and GFN looks absolutely amazing. Same as on my gaming monitor. cannot wait for G-Sync. So on the LG C3, you don't mind playing your games on HDR? Because I know when I speak to a lot of PC gamers, their monitors do not support it, and they don't really care. So that they're just so used to having this standard of illumination or lighting, should I say? And they don't know. But because I've been playing it since like the consoles days, because I feel like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox had it a lot more than before PC. I just feel it just looks out of place. It's the same when I play standard definition, which is the Switch. When I play that on a lovely TV, to me, I'm like, oh, there's something wrong here because I'm not getting a range of illumination to make stuff pop. Yeah, so Rock said, I often have to turn HDR off. I had to on Avatar, GFN, C8. So there's got to be some games. So some games on GFN actually have HDR. Because if you just said Avatar, and then Case Bowl said it on C3, it must be the game selection that I've got that are not supporting it, and that's why I actually go, okay. I'd actually have to see the list. Obi Rose Kenobi says, what's up, Paul, in chat? Nice to see you, Rose here. Hitbox Rose, getting ready for the Tekken next week. I hope you've been playing the demo, getting ready for it. Would you Hitbox? That's going to be a very interesting thing in the Fight Cantina next week, or the upcoming, seeing Rose's videos on Tekken 8. I seen they actually just dropped Lee. Lee is a fighter, and I know, Rose, you said that you're a big Lee fighter fan. So it'll be interesting to see the moveset. Me, I'm really excited for Tekken 8 next week. That'll be a one game because I just bought the Streamer X. So I'm going to be capturing some Tekken footage and stuff like that, and come up with some ideas how to create content. Roserin, yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah, I see when I see people in chat and I've engaged with you so long, I've got you, and I hope that when you see me, you go, "Oh, Hoults like this, Hoults like that." But it'd be interesting to see your take on Tekken 8, because you're the guy I trust in all these fighting games. And actually, so speaking of games, I hope that they don't do a bait and switch in Indiana Jones, because there's a second playable character, and in Indiana Jones movies, with especially Lucasfilm, there's a lot of bait and switch around it. They make Indiana Jones look incompetent or a fool or stuff like that. There's a lot of things that I don't want to see my main characters get washed away because of new characters. So I hope the idea that Indiana Jones don't keep on pushing gameplay and trailers going forward, and I'm really behind the game, and then when I actually play the game, it's a Last of Us 2 situation where the marketing pushes the idea it's Indiana Jones, and then the game does a bait and switch, and it changes the direction of who the leading character is. That's what I'm concerned about, because they've done it with The Last of Us 2, which I'll be playing tonight. There's nothing wrong with the direction it was going in. I just didn't like seeing the marketing push a narrative, and then when you played the game, it was a totally different game. Let's see what Case Ball said. Biggest game next week. Enshrouded. Never heard that game before. Enshrouded. Who's it by? Is that a joke? Enshrouded. I've always got my Tekken 8 lines up for. So for me, it'll be The Last of Us this week. Then next week it'll be Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and it'll be Tekken 8. There's so many games that come out on the Thursday or Friday, so I feel like if I can capture some footage round about that time, relaxing, I can put it up on stream and do a quick review. Not too much. I don't want the whole idea of being too consumed in content creation because even though we all love gaming, there's just so much to do to do in life and enjoy. Enshrouded. No, I'm actually I don't actually know if it's actually a game or not because it hasn't came in my radar. So I'm like, if it hasn't came in my radar, I'm wondering why I've not heard that. But I'm really interested to see if you're recommending it. Is it sarcasm or it's just you actually really love it and Shrouded? We should be talking about it. Yeah, Oberon says if you're too consumed in creation, you can't play and enjoy it. Yeah, I feel that's the same. There's a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube, Rose, and they've been content creators for like 10, 15 years. And they're now hitting burnout fatigue because they've got families or they've got wives, girlfriends, and they really like the idea of being content creators because it was their dream job. But they're saying now doing it for 15 years, they can't really enjoy anything because they're moving on too fast. So it's quickly edit this video, move on, sponsorship, sponsorship, sponsorship. And that is why over the last few years, you've not really seen me play games. I can talk about games because I really like speaking and engaging to other gamers. It's very interesting, but I couldn't be that person that spends hours and hours and hours consumed by gaming. That's actually a game that I actually we mentioned this last week, actually, speaking about games that we're all interested in. Did anyone actually play Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown? I'm actually going to buy it on Nintendo Switch. I never had the deluxe edition, and I actually never had Ubisoft Plus, so I never got early access to it. But I actually see it got an 8 out of 10. And to me, I was like, oh, that's a very impressive score. A lot of people really love that Metroidvania 2.5 aesthetic. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'd have to hurry up and actually fit some time in for that game because I really want to talk about it, why the hype's actually good. So I don't know if any of you actually are trying to fit that in before any of the big games because I know we just mentioned Dragon's Dogma 2, that's coming out next month, Indiana Jones, Hellblade, and then all the games I just mentioned, Tekken 8, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. There's loads of games that are coming out, so I'm wondering if you're all jumped on board on it this week. Yeah, totally agree, Rose. Rose says that is why I scaled back. One of the reasons. Yeah, so part of me is that now I've just picked up this nice capture card. I'm doing it for my own little thing. So if I put a little bit of videos on the games that I play, I'll just put it out as a short, or I'll drop it as a video at the end of the show. Or because I'm actually very lucky at this time, that time of night, because the games that I mentioned come out on a Thursday night at midnight, a Thursday midnight, or a Friday at midnight morning. So I feel like this is the time that if I pre-order a game and it's already pre-installed, this is the time where I can say to you guys, okay, should we actually all sit down together and actually see the game as it launches? Because I'm a few hours ahead of America and stuff like that. So I feel because I'm up already and I've got like a spare hour to talk about it, now's the chance to sit there and just roll with it. But to me, I just like kicking back with you guys and talking, but I thought it would be a good little thing just to insert. Obido says, I haven't played Pop. I have been labbing Tekken hard. That's going to be a game that comes out. Speaking of fighting games, what I was really enjoying, and I don't know if any use in chat to it in the mod community with your games, because I know there's a lot of PC gamers out there. But what I actually saw was Mortal Kombat. Someone's modded Pixar characters in. So Pixar's like The Incredibles, Toy Story, and stuff like that. And I thought, well, that's hilarious because we've seen Mortal Kombat games, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat versus DC, and stuff like we've seen well Tekken versus Street Fighter. We've seen sort of these collabs between fighting groups, but I've never seen the idea of someone modding characters like the Incredibles. So I think I want to actually download the mod and see where this is going. I don't know, Rose, have you actually seen it? Let's Case Ball says, have you already played The Last of Us 2? Digital Foundry had an interesting review of the upgraded version. When it comes to remasters, I am not really going to see much fidelity in the remaster unless it's been years. And when I mean years, I mean well over 10 years, a different generation. And I know The Last of Us Part 2 was a PlayStation 4 title, but it was the end of the life cycle of the PlayStation 4. It was the time when the console was so optimized, and the developer Naughty Dog knew how to milk everything out of the PlayStation 4, that now I can't imagine them doing anything much with the PlayStation 5 development kits to actually milk the fidelity at the moment. So to me, I'm going into this game going, okay, it looks similar. I mean, I can see little things more prettier, like the flamethrower or the Molotov, or how light reflects. I'm going to see little nuances of the game, but I think it's going to look exactly the same. But what I'm really enjoying is like the features they're going to put into part two. And what really annoys me is that they never brought it to the PC first. I like the idea where they should have done the PlayStation 4, then they brought it to PC, learn what they can about what people want on the PC with higher graphical fidelity, then learned how to optimize that game and ported it to PlayStation. That's exactly what I wanted. But why I want to play The Last of Us is because it's only a few dollars to upgrade, £3 to upgrade. It's like £10, and because it's been like 5 years, I feel like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I think 4. It makes you want to reflect back and then go, okay, well, they've added extra features. They've put little levels in that they sort of cut out, and they've put like a directors talking over the scenes and stuff like that. So it's like a director's cut. So that's why I'm looking forward to the game, not just the fidelity of it. And I usually play games multiple times. So I'll play it on console first when it comes to PC. I'll play it on PC usually, but now because this hasn't came to PC, I'll happily play it on PlayStation 5. But I'll definitely, Case Ball, I'll definitely look see the Digital Foundry article, uh, or I'll see the video and actually see what they think. Sanchez says, Obi Rose is another great streamer I follow. Yeah, Sanchez, as we know, we've got such great people that we follow. I really love the enthusiasm of Rose, especially when it comes to fighting anime, gaming stories. So it's amazing to sit back and chill. Yeah, so let me just catch up with you. Literally, the grass is better. Oh, so there you go, Case Ball. You've spoiled the article, but I'm glad you did. Because imagine me wasting 10, 20 minutes of my life just to hear the idea the grass is better. To me, it's like, this is why I like texture packs and stuff like that over resolution, because they can sit there and go to me, and on the PlayStation 4, there was a checkerboard, there's upscaled 4K at this, and pixels per inch, and blah, 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 blah. And then this is this, and is it really true 4K? And before you could have just said yes or no to the answer. But I know they have to go really spec heavy to make them sound really intelligent and really do the nitty gritty tests. But I'm just buying this game because it's cheap. I'll happily play it. And then, but see, part of me is a bit worried playing this game because I said this last week about The Last of Us Part 1. I really loved The Last of Us Part 1, and I played it multiple times. I played it on PC last week. I played it on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and the hype was just to see what the difference was. And I really enjoyed the jump in generations. But then when the HBO show came out, it added so many um, character development, not just in Joel and Ellie, but in the worlds of The Last of Us. That to me, the true Last of Us story now is the HBO show. So part of me is like, what happens if I play part two now, and then the HBO show season two comes out this year? I feel like that I'll have too much Last of Us. So part of me is like, oh, what to do? 'Cause I'm really looking forward to The Last of Us Part Two on HBO. Do. 2 seconds. Rock said, "Yeah, next to no chance since the PlayStation 5 upgrade. Yeah, next to no change since PlayStation 5 upgrade, but there is some key content, isn't there? Yeah, there's new story mode, not story modes. There's new modes for the people that want to do these harder modes, and there's extra features. I don't think the story wise because they've been cut out, but it's like interacting with certain animals or certain scenes with Abby and stuff like that. I mean, to me, I really liked Abby. She was a character that she was just public enemy number one, and then as the direction happened, Abby became to me very likable in the world of Last of Us because of the ethics of being the Last of Us. So to me, if you can add more context to these characters, even if it's just sitting there telling a story or sitting there playing instruments, I'll really be happy. Just go, oh, my brain will say, oh, that wasn't in the first part. It's definitely worth the £10 upgrade, $10 upgrade. But to me, I feel like even though I'm happy to play it again, it was a game that I didn't actually want. I would actually see the PC port first, and I feel like, come on, Naughty Dog, you're milking these remasters here, aren't you? Remasters and remakes. No wonder people are sitting there saying PlayStation's just a remake station, the remastered station. You're adding the fuel to the fire. But also, I'm that type of gamer where I can understand bringing a remaster to bring a new audience in. So the people that's really enjoyed the HBO TV show, they can actually dive into the PlayStation 5. Third year, it's the third year into it. It's going to look very pretty, and why not play it? Rose has said, unpopular opinion here, really was upset with The Last of Us. To me, why I actually play games is to follow the narrative of the directors and the storytellers and the stuff like this. So I went into this game going, yeah. When I watched the marketing of Joel and Ellie, I went, yeah. I was ready to have that same experience again. And what they done, these developers, is pulled the rug from under my feet and went, you like storytelling? This is what you're gonna like. And I was like, no, how can you? How can you? And it just made the game more epic. It made me get in touch with what is ethical in the world of Last of Us. It made me in tune with my emotions, rage, upsetness, loss, grief, happiness, and just go forward with that direction. So even though I was upset, the directors came back. And I feel that that's one thing that I've liked in some of my best games or movies. Spoilers ahead with Final Fantasy VII, OG. There was this time where what happens to Aerith? And at that time, 97, I was like 11, and going through that powerful emotion, what happens to Aerith in the temple, it just put so much impact on me. How I can be sympathetic of having loss in gaming, and how these characters can persevere and push forward with that guilt to save the world. And I thought that was amazing. And then another one was sort of, if you haven't seen it, Game of Thrones end of season 5. Where what they done in the last episode of season 5, I just couldn't accept. I stood up and I was like, no, kick me bin, hurt me foot, and I was just upset that I hurt me foot then. And for months, I just had to come to grips with these storytelling mechanics. And then I got so used to the idea of, oh, well, they will always forever be in my memory. And that's what happens with The Last of Us 2. It just makes the moments of The Last of Us 1 better. So at first, when people are like, boycott The Last of Us 2, it's not my Last of Us 2, I realized what the game's called. The game's called The Last of Us, not Joel and Ellie's story. So to me, I'm like, thank you, directors, for bringing this forward. And I hope they do something different in the TV series. So Case Ball said the added scenes. Obito said, yeah, The Last of Us was, what does that say? Great. But that second one, man, I don't know. I mean, to me, looking at The Last of Us 2, was what the PlayStation 4 could do. That was the end of its life cycle, what full optimization can do. So I feel like that deserves to be epic. When you're looking at a generational game, The Last of Us 2, put your feelings aside. It was the way they developed that game, the way they put music in it, 3D audio, accessibility, the way they sort of how they captured weird actors and stuff like that. It was like a Hollywood movie getting captured in gaming. And he learned so much. Case Ball said, Tomb Raider remastered looks worrying. See, to do a proper remaster, you have to do what Halo Master Chief Collection done, where you have the original, then you press a button, and then you can see the difference, the overlay of the new textures and new features. And then you can sort of go, wow, that's what it looks like without it, and this is what it looks like now, and it sees it new polished. And that's what I want with Tomb Raider. I want the old aesthetic, and then I want the new remastered version over it that I can sort of toggle between, so I know nostalgia's not playing a factor in any of it. Sandy says, I might get The Last of Us 2 piece, but not on release. Yeah, like I can see that. I can see that. But if I play it on the PlayStation 5 and was the upgraded for £10, well, I don't know if I would really get it on the PC. Unless the idea, if a new Steam Deck or new handheld came out, and then I can actually play it at a portable. Because I know, Sanchez, you said that you played The Last of Us on the Steam Deck, so that I would want that same sort of moment again with The Last of Us 2. Sanchez says, competition is always good for consumers. Obrez says, Hoults, want to ask you, since we are getting a Metal Gear Solid 3 remaster, do you think we will ever get Metal Gear Solid 4 redone? Right, okay, straight into this question. If you are going to put the time and effort to make Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, you damn right better bring me every single Metal Gear Solid from that time going forward. And I'm not talking about Metal Gear Solid 4, right? It has to go in the timeline that I remember. Metal Gear Solid 3, which was when Naked Snake becomes Big Boss. Spoilers. Then Metal Gear Solid 5, when he sort of has his, what's it called? Something Without Borders. Patriots Without Borders, if I can remember. The mercenary group. And then you have to probably get the PSP or PS Vita games and sort of tell a story. Peace Walker. Tell a game story of that. Then you definitely have to bring Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 as a remake. So you've got a continual timeline, not jumping. So it's got to be first Big Boss, then the development of the characters from like the Cold War, going up to the character that we know as Solid Snake, and how that ends in 4. That's what I want. You can't keep on moving the timeline back to by jumping to 4, because if you bring out 4, how a new game is going to know who Solid Snake is? So so if you're going to bring 3, it's got to be 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. Yeah, I have to tell the story properly. And that is what I love about Resident Evil 2, 3, 4. Tell it in that timeline order. And that is why when it comes to remakes, I want Final Fantasy 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. Do it in that order. Do not pander and skip it to something else. I'm actually get chat. So what do you think of Obi? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Now I've got snake eating in my head. Case Ball said, Obi, if it sells well, look at Resident Evil remasters. Sell absolutely amazing. Sanchez says, is the new Silent Hill game coming this year? It was rumored that it was coming this year. To me, I still haven't got a clue. I'm going to pick Silent Hill 2 up. To me, it's like, I still look, I've said this when it was when I was doing a show for the Rock Players and at the end of 2023, I still haven't got a clue what that game's about. It was just so bizarre in what was happening. Was it mental health, aliens, zombies, creatures? I just haven't got a clue what it was. So what else have we got here? Let's look at San says, I got spoiled with Resident Evil 7. The rest feel different. So the whole point is 7 was great, but it to me, it went away. To me, I was like zombies. I definitely need the idea of the G&T virus or even the Veronica virus. Once you start moving to the Las Plagas and you bring in the family, whatever they had, or you bring in Resident Evil 8 with werewolves and vampires and stuff like it made a disconnect from what the series was. You could have just done a spiritual successor that said Resident Evil, or just kept Resident Evil's Biohazard and then used Resident Evil a different name. I don't know, Resident Evil Creatures of the Night, something like that. Case Paul said, thank you for tonight's Hoults. Off to bed, mate. Yeah, take care. Thanks for dropping in. Always a pleasure. Always great to read your comments and take. And you make me jealous with that Free Outlaws. But anyway, enjoy. Sanchez says, I didn't get to play Silent Hill, so I might try. Yeah, definitely, you definitely need to see what it's all about. Especially if they bring in some nostalgia factors, but then sort of bring in new elements to make it modern. Because you have to realize that when this game came out, horror was still following a trend, especially with zombies. And then you think 20 years, people are getting stale of zombies and stuff like that. So I feel like if you want to bring horror to scare the masses in 2024, you have to bring a different element, a different scare factor to make a horror game. That's what I say. Case Ball said, Resident Evil amazing on stage, yeah, but Village was such a better. Yeah, well, when you talk about mechanically, I feel like, yeah, the games run smooth. They are an amazing story, but to me, I feel like, Resident Evil is about the Umbrella. I'll say Academy. Then that's a TV series and a comic. Umbrella, the corporation. It's got to be about their dodges and how average people in Raccoon City or Special Forces can sort of get out at the time and survival horror. And once they sort of pushed it to backwater houses and it was out the way and stuff like that, and it had different levels of mutations and creatures, it just threw me off. I'm not saying they are bad experiences because I loved the Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4. I loved 7 and 8 with the Baker family. The Baker family. One of my best moments in Resident Evil is when Resident Evil 1 came back out on the GameCube, and I was laughing at a zombie that zombies are stupid and the zombie ran at me. That was one factor. It was amazing. Mr. X. Then there was Nemesis. When he ran after you and can open doors, that scared the hell out of me. And then in Resident Evil 7, when you just seen the old woman sitting by a dinner table and the next minute she's upstairs on the landing in a wheelchair and you're thinking to yourself, how the hell did she get there? And I just kept me going because you're thinking to yourself, she's going to move. And she never moved. And I just remember thinking to myself, because I was so used to familiarity in games, I love the way I got tricked or the game evolved to add different mechanics to actually add a survival horror element to it. Now, I really wanted to play Resident Evil 4 on the VR and Village, but because I haven't finished Village on the PSVR 2, I don't want to play Resident Evil 4 until I finish Village. I just wish that I waited for the Village PSR VR 2 instead of playing Village the first time round. Sanchez says, True Hoults, I'm a late gamer, so didn't play the first Resident Evil. The first Resident Evil with Barry and not Claire, that was the second one. There was Rebecca, Claire, and Jill. There was Rebecca, Jill, and Barry. And I feel like following their stories is where you'll see the evolution of Resident Evil 3 and stuff like that. And you'll see Resident Evil 5, these characters. I think you'll see Chris in Resident Evil 8 and 7. So all these characters have got like a backstory that you can definitely go back and enjoy. Definitely go back and enjoy. But you can always just move. You can just always move forward and enjoy 7 and 8 on its own without actually tying it to future or past franchises. The game of the franchise. Olby Rose said, "I didn't play it either." Oh wow, that's very interesting. Case Ball says, "Best Resident Evil game is Codename Veronica." I didn't play it on the Dreamcast. I played Resident Evil Code Veronica X on the PlayStation 2. And you are right. I think Code Veronica is the best Resident Evil. I love that to be remade. Yeah, Sanchez, if you'd ever played past Resident Evils, definitely play them all in VR. So you've just mentioned that you've got the Quest 3, and we've mentioned before in chats that is the way to add extra levels of immersion and how to evolve gaming. So yeah, definitely play all the Resident Evils you can in VR, especially if they're going to bring that Steam VR and all the compatibility and all that stuff over. But I feel like you have to develop it from the ground up to have the mechanics of VR, not just have like a emulated Resident Evil. I'm always trying to catch up with it. Yeah, Sanchez Codename Veronica is the best one. I don't know what the problem is with going back at games is mechanics don't held up. So when you've played something in VR or you've played Resident Evil 4, I don't know, on PlayStation 5 or whatever PC, when you go back to games, you realise how sluggish they are and slow they are. You can still enjoy the story, but you sometimes go, oh my God, the way they turn, the way they can't run with the gun and stuff like that, it just puts it out of place. I don't know if any of you in chat actually feel that way, but to me, going back really, it doesn't upset me, it just throws me off. I think nostalgia plays a lot of things. Oh yeah, remember this time when we were sitting off with our friends and it was the best game at that time. And then when you go back, you realise the jump mechanics are crap, the shooting's crap. You just don't remember how you used to. But yeah, if another Resident Evil dropped and there was a remake, say 5, I would definitely play it. But it would have to be in VR. Speaking of VR, did anyone see the news about Apple Vision Pro? They announced that Netflix is still not working in conjunction with them, which I think that's very worrying that you can't get the biggest streaming service to come on the Apple Pro Vision. It makes me a little bit worried. I know they announced that they're actually going to bring 3D movies via Disney Plus and Paramount Plus, HBO, and Amazon Prime. Said they're actually going to support the device and possibly bring 3D movies, but not actually having Netflix on a streaming service on a brand new device really makes me actually worried about this spending. Well, I'm not going to spend that. People invest $3,500 for this, not to have stuff right at the gate. Is any of you going to think consider the idea of having an Apple Vision Pro, or is it something when the cost goes down and it comes more consumer friendly? That's sort of how you see the future of consuming media is. To me, I love the idea of VR, AR, and stuff like that. But being fully immersed by myself, I think it's going to be very lonely. So I feel like now I actually want human involvement. So if I'm sitting down watching a football match, I would want my friends and family around to watch the football match because they add to the experience. Where years ago, I wanted to put a virtual reality headset on and watch the latest football, soccer game, wrestling match, and pretend I was there. But to me, I'm like, it's it's not something that I want. But if people can twist my arm, I could try it. But I definitely don't want to actually pay at that price of entry. Ralph said, I would never buy an Apple product for myself. Did you see the Samsung S24 that I got announced? If you're an Android person, I thought that phone looked absolutely gorgeous. And I was sitting there worried that AI was going to be a gimmick, but there was some nice little features in that phone. So I'm really interested to see. I've got I got an Apple Pro 15, right? And I was an Android user for years, and I still prefer the Android ecosystem compared to Apple's. But I thought, I'll try it. I'll try and switch it up because Magpie syndrome, and the phone itself is not really doing it for me. Apart from this, behind there is a MagSafe ring, right, on a case. And I went out and bought MagSafe wireless chargers. I've bought a quarter thread magnetic thing, so on arms. And now I just really enjoy putting my phone floating on the wall, and it charges and it just sticks. And of course, if I try and pull, it won't come off the wall. But if I sort of tilt it a little bit from the top or bottom, it comes off. And I feel like keeping the charge directly onto the back is amazing. Now, yes, that's Apple technology, but you can actually just get the same concept and apply it to your Android. But that's a gimmick that I really love. So if I went back to Android, I would definitely have to have this like wireless charging attitude. But yeah, definitely that S24 does look gorgeous. Yeah, I don't actually buy products. I'm just more the idea of getting a cheap deal on Black Friday mobile deals with a tariff, and then I could sort of skim off the tariff to pay for the phone. So Ralph says it's too much money for me for the Apple Vision Pro, but looks interesting. See, we're all sensible. We've got more sense than money, and I really want to see how it evolves on YouTube. I want to see how the content creator or the media consumer can do it. I mean, I know none of my friends and family are actually going to buy the Apple Pro Vision or actually care watching Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, 3D movies. But I really want this to become a thing. I really do. I want to start seeing wearable tech in the streets. I want it to be like a utopia, like cyberpunk and what's it called, steampunk fashion. Ralph said, "Yeah, just not a fan of their business practices." Yeah, you can understand that. Can't totally understand that. I mean, the problem with Apple Provision, why it's that price, is because the market as a premium product, a limited premium product, and they say all the sensor arrays and all the cameras are expensive, and that's what you're paying for the experience. To me, I would only get one if I was in a house by myself and I needed a brand new telly, and maybe I could add it over a paid tariff with my mobile phone. That is the only way I would actually get one in the future. But definitely, I couldn't jump on board that. Let's have a look. Ralph says, I heard you talking about Prince of Persia earlier, and I pre-ordered it. Thought just got home. What did you pre-order on? It'd be interesting to see. To me, I was very gutted because I had the deluxe edition and the Ubisoft Plus. Had it a few days earlier, and to me, I'm like, I can't be throwing money. Stay vigilant and pick it up on the Nintendo Switch. Because if I pick it up on the Nintendo Switch, at least I got a handheld experience. Because I feel like having that aesthetic, it's not too powerful. Even the mechanics look, great and stuff like that. I just don't think it deserves to be run on a PC or a PlayStation 5. So I feel like I can definitely put it on the Switch, play it in portable, low power mode, and share it with a family member. That's my approach going forward. Obirose says, I use Apple. I agree, too expensive, but looks cool. The issue with Apple is that it's a premium product. They run with the brand, don't they? So when people see you with an Apple phone, they go, ooh, even though Android could be better or other devices could be better, they go, ooh, Apple. They connect it with a premium brand. But supposedly I heard the Google Pixel is getting popular. I heard that's on a rise. We should see how competition happens. Raz says, I pre-ordered on the Xbox through CD keys. Yeah, nice. Always save a few dollars. No, Obido says, Hoults, do I own a portable? No, I just didn't grasp the concept of a portable. I think it's one of the most wasted part of the PlayStation ecosystem because to me, I love the PSP and I love the PS Vita. And once Sony killed off the PS Vita, it really hurt me because the handheld was an amazing device and it had loads of streaming services and support of third party. And it had PlayStation Now on it and it worked. And to me, I had like a Sony Bravo TV and I had PlayStation Now and I had a Sony phone. I had PlayStation Now and it was compatible. So I was very into their ecosystem at the time and it got killed off. Right. Then I bought PlayStation VR and that wasn't successful. And I bought the PlayStation Move and that got killed off. So to me, I started realizing that Sony was bringing stuff out that they didn't believe in. It was a gimmick to them. It was a way to try and capitalize on something by saying they're innovative when they really wasn't. Then I really enjoyed the Wii U with the gamepad, and I thought that was amazing until I think the gaming community killed off the Nintendo Wii U, saying it was most stupid. Why would you want a secondary pad? So in my mind, I was like, okay, no one wants handhelds, no one wants cloud, no one wants Wii extra secondary screens. It's only me that's wasting my money. So I sort of evolved with the new tech, how people consume. And I thought to myself, well, when I seen the PlayStation Portable come out, I thought, well, I'm not going to buy a second screen just for Sony not to support it. Why do I need a secondary screen if their games are not supporting the idea of using a second screen? Or why would I support a wireless only device if people just killed off the speed of cloud services? So if the biggest factor was people's infrastructure of the internet and the architecture of their home, why they couldn't play cloud gaming, then I thought to myself, what's the point having a portable when there's going to be a lot of issues? And then also I didn't like the idea of just remotely always having my PlayStation 5 on all the time, consuming electricity, producing heat and noise, just so I can sit somewhere else in my house streaming a portable, eating me bandwidth. I just didn't see the practicality of it when I thought to myself, I could pull a phone out or I can pull out my G Cloud and just play it on that. I just didn't. And I'm playing these games. I'll wait for these games to come on PC or GFN. I just don't see why I wanted to be tethered to the PlayStation 5. Let's have a look. I've scrolled down. So, what about you? Did you get a portable? My nephew got a portable, right? And he's got a TV in his room, as kids do these days. and he just loves playing Fortnite and Roblox, and he loves playing what's that car football game, Rocket League. And his mum and dad went out there and bought him a portal after told him he won't use it. He won't use it. There's no need for him to have a second screen when he's got a TV in the house. And he came to mine after New Year, and I was like, "Oh, you're looking forward to your portal?" You're not really. What's the point of it? And I was like, "Well, that's why I said to you that. What's the point of having just a streaming only remote play device when you could have just got a Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Legion Go?" Now, Sanchez, I didn't know that Asus made phones as well. Probably the Razer phone. Obito says Vita was big. Yeah, to me, I would have loved a Vita 2. My Steam Deck is got loads of PlayStation games on there, and to me, I feel like it's a PlayStation device. And to me, I'm like, a lot of people now are accepting the power of handhelds, the portability factors, the optimization, that they'll accept a 1080 resolution. So if Sony came out and just said, okay, here's a PlayStation Vita 2 OLED screen, long battery, 1080, they can get away with it. But nope, they didn't. They brought a portable out, which to me just represents what the friggin' Wii U was. And that's the problem. People didn't like with Nintendo being innovative. They killed it off. And now where's Sony and all the Sony fanboys going, I've got a portal. Or we said, I use my portal for labbing. Yeah, I mean that's a perfect way. I mean, you've got a family and a wife, kids, and all. So in the end, getting away with this over screen cheekily somewhere, just playing Tekken is a great little win. But to me, I feel like that if you got TVs or you come from a gaming background where you can get access to the TV, I mean, the way I see consuming media or playing games these days, that if I had a partner or family members, I would say, you get on your phone or you get on your tablet and let me have the console. Let me have the console and the telly, because a lot of people now are addicted to their phones and addicted to screens. So I would tell them to go on their phone while I have the big telly, because with tellies, especially with like people that watch TV or browse on the phone, they don't need HDR. They don't need 4K resolution just to look at YouTube videos. So I feel like I would tell other people to consume low resolution quality on on their handhelds than ever giving up a TV. But I know people in chat saying, "Well, that's not how relationships or family dynamics work in a house." But that's what I would say. Yeah, Rouse. So that's it, isn't it? You want to wait for the weekend, get your energy levels back up, and really enjoy it, because there's no point playing a game for half an hour and falling asleep. Got a good deal. I mean, if you can get a game cheaper, that's great, isn't it? Totally. So Obito said, yeah, so like now, while listening to you, I'm labbing. That's what I like. That's what I like. I like to hear. Just you got other stuff to do, podcasts in the background, interacting with people, but also just grinding a few. I'm not saying teching isn't interesting, but I feel like that's why I play racing games or fighting games. I'm not fully invest. I'm grinding on doing something, but I'm not focused because I'm not missing heavy mechanics or story modes. Rouse Sanchez, I use CD. Yep, I do exactly the same. Anything to get it. Yeah, I feel like CD keys and all that are going higher up in price. I think that the more gaming is going up, the more CD keys are going up. I know that's what they need to make a profit or break even. But to me, I'm like, sometimes I see it and I go, oh, is that really worth it? Sorry, is that really worth it? I mean, the best thing about Ubisoft games is that they drop in price really fast. So part of me is like, should I just wait? Well, I was like, should I wait? I decided I'm getting on the Nintendo Switch, but to me, it's like, should I wait until the Ubisoft rise? Should I play it on Ubisoft Plus? But you have to, right, so when you play it this weekend, you have to drop us in chat and tell us what you think of it. I know Purple's going to play it on. I think she's going to get it from the library. She said, but I know we're all Prince of Persia fans here, so it'd be interesting to get a quick review of you, a little take on how you feel, especially playing on the Xbox. I don't know anyone else that will be picking on the edge. I was actually considering it on the PlayStation 5, but then part of me is like, to me, I don't think I want really that big TV experience with a 2.5 game, should I say. Obi Rose said, yeah, Sanchez, check it out. PlayStation Plus. To me, I love Black Friday. Black Friday, Christmas sales, anything that I can make a saving on, that's when I sort of stack my subscriptions up. But the problem I've got with PlayStation Plus and Xbox, what's it called, Core, Game Pass Core, is I don't really use the online features anymore. So I think it's a waste of money. I don't really like the games of gold neither, the games that are included in the subscription. So to me, I'm like, I might as well play my games on the Steam Deck or the PC where online gaming's free. That's how I see it. But with that said, I think I'd probably need, because I've got Tekken 8 on the PlayStation 5, I guess I need online now. Rose said, I bought OMD 3 again on Steam after playing it so much on Stadia. Orcs Must Die 3. That's it, one game. Tower Defense. I just never got behind it. I know my friends really love Tower Defense. I know I've heard stories, Rouse, of you and Purple and stuff like that playing Orcs Must Die. But to me, it's I can play RTS like Age of Empires and Civilization or that new area, I think it was called, but I just can't get behind Tower Defense. Yeah, that's it. Just a quick mini review. Say, yeah, you like it. Was it worth the money? That's it. That's all you need to say. Obido said, dude, yes, you do, Holt. We got to have some fights. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, I've got my fight stick there. I dusted it off the other day. It was just sitting there because with the Steam Deck, it's already built into the handheld mold, and I really like just sitting there grinding a little bit of fights there. But with the PlayStation 5, that's when I can sit back and just enjoy it. Especially when I've got the capture card there now with the pass through. I feel like that once I'm playing some fighting games, maybe I can capture some footage and it'll look cool on the stream, or I can give a review which makes a short and just populate my channel that way. I mean, I've seen your shorts, Rose, when you're doing a little the sound effects bot simping or the Mario coins or something like that when you're doing a fight. Very interesting. Ralph said, "Oh yeah, I love Orcs Life 3. It's like a third-person shooter with tower defense." Yeah, I'm maybe speaking highly. I'd love to go, but play it, but it's not something I'll go to because there's too much games to play, and that's what I said to Purple on that. Why I like watching content creators or people in chat is to get your takes on these games. So even though when I haven't got it, at least I can tune in and see what I'm missing and go, oh my god, that was a brilliant. So I feel like I'm consuming the game through use. Rouser said it's not like a regular tower defense game. You are a character. Okay. Obi said, yeah, I'll think this time. Do you know what, Rose? I'll be getting Tekken next week. It's already pre-ordered. So mine will go live at midnight, I hope. So I feel like because I've not played the demo, maybe I can get cheeky. I can really enjoy some of the story before I actually dive into online fights. But my twin, he'll probably be joining us as well because he's a big Tekken fan as well. So he's definitely down for it. So guys, it's this time of night where everything that I wanted to speak about has been covered. So thank you guys for engaging and giving some feedback on your takes of what we've been mentioned today. You know, it was very positive. We've actually talked about the developers direct from Xbox for 2024. We talked about the games that was announced. You know, Indiana Jones, uh, Visions of Mana, Ara. What else did we talk about? Some handhelds. We talked about games that we're looking forward to. We've talked about just random stuff in gaming. So I hope you really enjoyed the stream, and definitely give it a like. And if you're watching this back on replay, on demand, whatever you call it, just to drop a comment. Or if you are here live in chat and you want to put a comment that you want to ask me a direct question, I will definitely get back to reply when I can. But it will usually tomorrow that I'll answer the question. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. It's always a pleasure saying hi to you guys and really seeing what we're doing in the community. But yeah, we'll see you in Purple Stream in about 14 minutes. She'll be doing usually an interview with one of the community members. So it's a good time for me to actually get a drink, relax, and just say thanks. It means a lot for you guys engaging and talking about gaming. And I'll see you in your shows, or I'll see you in other people's shows in the chat, and we'll carry it on. Okay, thanks, guys, and I'll see you next week.